I'm very happy to be here with you, and particularly for sure with Isabelle. Isabelle is really, really a great friend, and she's an amazing leader and an amazing CEO. I am very happy that we are together because, as I say, and I strongly believe in this conversation that we can have directly with great people like Isabelle, able to look at the reality in a way that is always able to find positive connections and positive way to create a value for everyone. But she's really an amazing leader. Why? I met that she was starting this adventure with ICICLE, and she had the amazing chance to change completely the destiny of a big and important brand in France, like Fauchon. Everyone who is living a lover of good living, great taste, and great brands loves Fauchon. And her, she was finishing this amazing enterprise, working with them to relaunch the brand, repositioning the brand in a very difficult environment. And then she started a new adventure with a new Chinese entrepreneur, where at this time, I think the perception of the vision and the ability to really create a new way of creating brand in a very sustainable way was quite new. And particularly, I would say, from China. But she understood an amazing opportunity to start to create something absolutely sustainable, able to create value for everyone, and with an amazing adventure. And she did, and now she is with us, and I'm very happy to have the opportunity to chat with her. Ciao, Isabelle.
Hello, hello everybody. What I want to say is that my professional journey has been an adventure between different cultures, different generations, different working methods. And this happened a bit by chance, you know, because in the beginning, I had a very classic path, which is based on marketing. You know, I was a marketing manager. Although I always felt that I had a creative thing in me that I wanted to express, but I chose to do business school, and all my professional journey has been about trying to reconcile my creative skills and enjoyment of working with creative people with the business objectives and results. So I'd say that to introduce me in a very brief way, I'm a leader that operates in creative industries, and my ability is really to transform brands, you know, rather than to rule them. Fauchon was really for me the beginning of my evolution towards Asia, because Japan was the major market, and from Japan I started to learn the importance of the group over the individual, the importance of consensus, new working methods, also a new Asian aesthetic, which I found was very interesting. So I was very much enriched by this experience. And then this opportunity of ICICLE was in fact presented to me at a time where the owner of Fauchon wanted really to make a family company with his son. So I thought it was time for me also to leave, which was quite painful because it was really my baby, you know. But I decided again to leave, which was a second difficult decision to take because I could have stayed, but I decided to leave. And then ICICLE came, and really I jumped on the train. And then I decided to do it because I met the owners and I thought they were absolutely amazing. I realized that there was a new China which was emerging. And also I was very much impressed by the speed of growth of the company, whose growth is 25% per year since I met them. So now it's a company that whose turnover is 300 million euros for 300 stores. And now they are going international. This is why they wanted me to do two things: to create their design center in Paris to prepare their international launch, as well as really rethink their brand, their marketing strategy, and how to express in a very professional international language what they had in mind, because in fact it was their vision. Their vision is that they want to create a new sector in fashion, which is, and they want to be the leader and the pioneer of green fashion market, which is now, you know, really now exploding, especially with the pandemic. But they had this vision in 1997 when they launched their company. They are part of the new generation of Chinese entrepreneurs who are very enlightened, very educated, very cultured. And so with them, I bet on them. I bet on their values. I bet on their growth, because I had read, you know, Sheryl Sandberg's book, Lean In. And one of the major thoughts that I thought was very interesting in her book was that when there is growth, you can do anything, you know. And in fact, I was very struck by the growth of the company, and I thought that it was worth betting on this growth, because it would create amazing opportunities. And, you know, as a European, I had not lived this kind of growth, because we know that since 30 years, the market is very difficult in Europe. And I was quite fascinated by this, you know, the intensity of this growth. So just to say that from the West, I went to French experiences. French is very interesting because in France, you learn really about creativity, about conceptual minds, you know, which makes that France is really for me, maybe with Italy, the country of the most beautiful brands, you know, on earth.
Yeah.
Let's say in the creative industries, you know, in my field. And this is really the quality of the French. They have creative minds, they have taste, they have heritage. So they bring this, you know, to other brands or to other companies or to other cultures. And with China and Asia, I learned it was very challenging, I must say, because first of all, I was not very young, so I had to adjust to new generations, because the company is around 35 years old, you know, people, the average age is this. I had to cope with digital, which was not my generation. So I had really to face this and learn digital, everything about digital. I had to adapt to new working methods, which are very different from Western working methods, because we are very logical, very structured, and the Chinese are very circular mind. We say, I think, they say, I feel. And it was very uncomfortable, honestly, to adjust to that, because, you know, we have strategies, we want to achieve them, we have a plan, and their plan is moving all the time, every day. So not only I had to adapt to that, but I had also to make my teams adapt to these working ways. And as I'm managing with a lot of creative people, you know, designers, architects, marketing people, but also we have it's a design center, so we have you know, functions such as finance and HR, etc. I had really to be a translator of what is this Chinese mind to the French, you know, and to the so it's a very interesting blending of culture, because I think that the world is going, is going west, even, and that we will have more and more to learn China, because it's the first market for many industries now, because they are becoming more and more powerful. We know in luxury that China will represent half of the business in 2025. It's a Bain research which was done recently. So we have, what is interesting in my generation is that I was taught by the Americans, I was trained by the Americans, but now I'm working with the Chinese. So it's a kind of weird journey, which is, I think, my generation's journey, because I think that now the young leaders have a totally different journey, especially with the rise and the emergence of digital tools and digital management. So this is my story. So what can I tell from the story is that you always have to learn. You need to take risks in a professional life. This is why I'm always saying to young people, take risk. No risk, no fun. The true risk is not to take risk. And that the more you dare, the more you learn and the more you grow. I would say first, you have to dance with the two brains, because you need the two brains. You have to be very rational, to be very focused, to be very execution oriented. Every day you have, because in fact we know that strategy, vision is 10%, but execution is 90%. And in your testimony, you are really mentioning the fact that, we know that retail is detail, luxury is detail, and devil is in detail. So you have to be completely control freak and at the same time let people go. So it's a kind of helicopter thing, helicopter strategy. So you can go very high, and then suddenly to the detail, and then suddenly very high and suddenly to the detail. I have a tip that I like, which is, there are three things which make a good leader, which I always try to explain to the young people or to my kids, which is vision, drive to achieve, values. En français, c'est vision, volonté, valeur. Yeah, I like it because it's like the vision. Where do you want to take the company? What's the concept? What's the motto where your people will go? For instance, for ICICLE, we created a motto which is made in earth, which is very simple. I think people need very simple things. Really, you have to struggle against complexity. I think a good leader must be very simple, to communicate very simply. First of all, it's always come from the top. It comes from the founders. It's an amazing couple, and they are truly sincere in what they're doing, and they have also amazing human values. I can tell you that I've been in 8 companies, different, from American to French to Asian. They are the most ethical people I ever met. So I want to say that, because it's really the opposite of all the stereotypes that people can have on New China, because it is New China. And there is a new generation of Chinese entrepreneurs who want to change the image of China, because it's a very profitable company, by the way. So their secret is really about their belief and the fact that they really are very keen on selecting the best suppliers, being very rigorous on the sourcing of their natural fabrics, be super demanding of always, you know, making efforts every season, because they have 25 years of experience about natural dyings. For instance, we know that dyeing textile is very bad for the planet. So they have developed new techniques of vegetable dyings, which are quite sophisticated now, and which gives a special colorama to the collections, you know, that you have experienced.
Yes, I see.
Yeah. Then they don't want to treat the material. For instance, there's no coating on the trench coats, you know, because there are special textiles that need no coating, so no chemical, less chemical possible. And then the style is very timeless, very I would say minimal, to be wasteless, because when you do a lot of details, you use a lot of fabric. And so the design is very timeless, so that the clothes can last very long. And then you can give it to maybe to your daughter, or they will just, you know, fade naturally, you know. So this is their vision. So first of all, the second thing is that they are very careful about their values.
Yeah.
And about the company's culture. And I can tell you that the recruitment system is really impressive. So that, you know, when we recruit people, we really check their, what we call now the ICICLE nest, meaning the capability to really fit the culture, which is a very humble culture, very open to the others, very friendly, very egoless, okay.
Yeah.
Very transparent, I must say. So we checked this very carefully, so that the spirit of the company, you know, can really grow naturally in a harmonious, because in fact their concept is also, why are they doing this? Also because there is let's say, it's not an emerging country, it's a resurgent country, because they have a lot of culture, they have 5,000 years of culture. And so now the new generation of Chinese people, entrepreneurs, are really digging in their heritage, which is not design heritage, but which is their culture, with their noble fabrics, with their, for instance, ICICLE is about the Taoist philosophy of unity between man and nature, of harmony between man and nature. And I discovered, by the way, the importance of the centrality of this concept of harmony between man and nature, because it's really at the center of their management way. They manage by harmony. What I think is interesting is that now, you know, especially accelerated by the pandemic, now it's becoming a society topic, and it's becoming something that has to be in the center of the DNA of the companies. You cannot just escape from it. So I think this is very important. What I want to say about ICICLE is that since 25 years, you know, they are, first of all, they are eco-born. It's really, you know, in the center of their DNA. I can say that I think that every company has his way. You know, Marine Serre is doing upcycling, you know, now upcycling is a very important trend. Second hand is a huge trend, okay, with the Vestiaire Collective and Vinted. So you have many ways of doing circular economies. And I think it's the moment of circular economy. But I think what is important is the movement, which is huge. You know, it's a wave. It's like a new wave. So what I can tell you is that for ICICLE is so much at the center that, you know, for every piece, okay, every piece, we ask ourselves 3 questions. Is it sustainable? Is it comfortable? Because comfort is in the center also. And is it professional? Because it's for new urban generation, you know, to help them to be well at work, okay? And we always start by saying, is this garment sustainable? And we have to answer this question. So of course, it's not 100% sustainable, because it's impossible. But the brand tries since 25 years to make every season efforts, and we do a capsule every season, this is interesting. Now, since 2 years, we are doing a capsule during the fashion week of 20 looks, which show a new advance in the area. For instance, the last one, the current one, is called guandongos. Guandongos is a special Chinese technique, which is a very light silk that creates natural shades of black. You know that black is the least natural color. It's a super chemical. So now we are investigating ways of doing a natural black. This is an example. And I think that what the Chinese company are going to bring, first, this is ICICLE, they are going to bring interesting experience on sustainable fashion on an industrial base. I want to say that it's not a niche brand, they want to conquer the world. So how can we do eco-fashion on an industrial scale? And I think this is one of the Chinese strengths, because they have been the workshops of the world, we know that. So they have a very strong experience in terms of factories, and they know really well how to run factories. So it's a Chinese strength where new entrepreneurs are going to step in to do a new industrial Chinese brand, sometimes with eco DNA like ICICLE, sometimes with more ethnical approaches. I'm thinking of Uma Wang or Dawei, maybe you have heard of those brands, which really use also, I think that they will bring a lot in terms of fabrics also, like Chinese silk, of course, all kinds of silks, new silks, cashmere. They are very strong in cashmere and silks. Way of dyeing silks and cashmere. So I think there might be interesting things, and a new generation of creative designers, which is blooming in China, because China is not now a follower country. It's now a leading country, and also even the government wants the people to create brands. They encourage them to create brands and to express a kind of Chinese pride, capacity, and creativity. And I think it's coming. So I'm thinking it's going to be interesting, but there will be room for everyone, because there will be, the market is huge, in fact. But what is interesting with China is that it will be less and less low quality. It will be more and more high quality. So my point was that, there's no linear career, and that a professional journey is about ups and downs. This was my point. So I always, I want to share this, because being, perfect doesn't exist. So I really want to say that, because I think it's encouraging for people. But I also think that you don't fail, you learn, either you succeed or you learn. I mean, definitely, because even if you have a feeling of failure for a moment, if you have, you need. I don't know how to answer your question, because it's very personal. You must really measure everything and weigh, and take the time, and really, there's one advice I want to give is be coached. Be coached. Take a coach. My generation didn't do it. It didn't exist. I think if I had been coached, maybe I would have made different. I would have dealt with these situations differently. So this is my first advice. If you can have some help from a professional coach, but also some friends, because you can be coached also by friends who know you well. It's very valuable, very, very valuable. This is the first thing. Then, it's really inside you. I don't know what to say, but my advice is to not to bear, comment on dit contre-cœur, counter-heart situations. Yeah. This is toxic. Of course, of course you have to struggle, you have to struggle, because sometimes the struggles are successful, and you have to talk, and you have to speak your will. You have to find a way to express yourself and what you want, and you have to think about what you want. You have in one sentence to write for yourself, what do I want? What is my skill? What do I love to do? Because you are good at what you love to do, even if you need to improve other areas, you know, but it's really, so this is my advice.
Thank you. Thank you, that's very helpful.
First of all, I want to say that it's the most difficult thing to do. And it's an area where even when you have experience, you can make big mistakes. First of all, so this is why having a good headhunter is really very valuable. You know, with whom you can really trust and go deeply in the understanding of people you hire. Also, I think that in hiring, the references are key. I mean, true references. You know, not fake references. So you have to do a very deep work of references to really be sure that be sure before. Then, you know, if you feel that during the trying period it's not good, you have to take a decision. It's really very difficult, and half of the time you make the wrong decisions, which is to keep the people. And then you lose time, money, and so for me, it's for a leader, it's one of the most difficult things to achieve. And if you do wrong, you have to change fast. So this is first thing. I think when you're younger, you have to do the recruitment in the opposite way. You have to choose your boss very well. I had not fantastic jobs in my career life, but if you have the chance to have a fantastic boss, you win time, you are mentored, you have an everyday coach, and it makes you grow faster. So my advice is choose well your boss. Yes. Well, first of all, you know, it's a mid-sized company, so it's easier. You know, it's not. I mean, it's a human size, so you can know every people. You know every people. So I think this is my thing. I don't like when it's too big also, but I think well, you have to care for people every day. So it means caring for people is not only you know, being available for them, because people can really eat your time. By the way, incidentally, I must say that time management is really important for a leader. Okay, it's very difficult because people really are the most challenging, I would say, area in the leadership, I think, you know, because you have to motivate them, because they are very sensitive, because everybody's sensitive, because you have to care for how you speak to the people, the words you use, etc. Because people are very much unsafe, you know, in general. And so I think that caring for people and making them feel that you care for them in a sincere way is important, as much as you can. You know, as much as you can. So you can do that always, because you're very busy, but you have to, I think that the key is that people must feel that you are interested in them, you know, not only in what they deliver, but in who they are, you know, where they come from. I mean, what's their story, what do they want, you know, how they feel in the company, you know, because so have these kinds of informal conversations, you know, with considering the top people as important as the lowest people level. This is super important, and the top people have to see that you talk to everybody and to the lowest people level. And if you do that, I think it's very efficient. To consider that everybody is at the same level and deserve the same level of care. This is very important in terms of, I would say, empathical management. Then, of course, you need to encourage people to feel, but when they do mistakes, you have also to be able to have tough conversations, and then you have to adapt to all the personalities, because you have all kinds of personalities. You have people who talk too much, you have people who don't talk. So the people who talk too much, you have to stop, and the people who don't talk, you have to lead them to talk more, so a lot of adjustment. And this is about intuition, I say, care for every person. You can't imagine how important is that for every employee, that the leader or the boss sees them.
Thank you.